Yeah, he's got all
I
of
know what
the,
that is. He's
Yeah.
got all that information.
that's what he handed me when we come in, and I said, well, I'm interested if they are.
I will.
Well, them dogs that
He's
sniff
already been
out
trained.
drugs
trained,
are
and he's
smart.
an expert.
Ask him to bring it in.
Cumberland High. And they walk straight. Well, we're pretty good.
Lost your buddy,
Hey,
did
he
you
jump
know?
on the lockers over there like a dog on a bone.
Bring the whole receipt.
Can you bring him right over here, Jackie?
I know I have.
Oh,
so pretty.
Sits. Buddy, sits. All right, guys. This is Harley. He's a 2-year-old male. He's full narcotic trained on the detections of marijuana, coke, crack, heroin, and methamphetamines. He is full track and trail, non-aggression. Right now, the reason why he's with me is we got the bonding stage that we go through to get him acquainted with me. And then I'm required to go to handler school sometime in May or June, whichever time I pick, and get my certifications, and then begin to work if we so choose to do so.
We need to know, like, financial stuff now.
From what I found on it, as far as vet bills, providing there's no major injuries or anything, and I guess Silas can help me with some of this. Usually the only thing every year is usually his shots, and that's usually runs around $100 on Silas, somewhere in there. And his food, my average they want us to maintain him, want us to maintain him is around 65 to 70 pounds, and I'm averaging about $50 a month, so that's roughly a little over $400 and some a year on his food. And I will be responsible for all the maintenance and care for him, and I will even take care of the food and the vets. Because I have I have a buddy that's a vet over in Johnson County, and has agreed to do that stuff with me, help me out on that. As far as the upkeep, you know, the overall cost, I guess, for the insurance, I checked the quote on the insurance, and it's $1,650 a year for $100,000 coverage, and that covers anything from accidental bites, destruction, or what have you. Like I said, he's not aggressive. He don't have the aggression to him.
So he's not an attack dog.
He's not an attack dog. He is he was used prior to my handling. He was used in the school in Warren County, Tennessee, with the school resource officer down there, and he pretty much stayed around kids daily. So, and that was one of the reasons why I chose him instead of one of the others, because the others had the aggression to them and stuff. The only thing that he would be aggressive out of would be handling protection, and that is
Somebody
Yeah,
attacking
somebody-
you.
yeah, that's somebody attacking
Which
the
is a good
handler.
thing.
But otherwise, he's pretty much
Tennessee.
timid. He'll love on anybody. He'll let anybody pet him.
So what will the dog cost us?
If this dog, if the city was out any money to pay for him, would cost $10,000 to start out with. And I've worked with this guy over the time and talked with him and stuff, and he has donated $7,500 towards us with this, and that's about the total to $2,500. And the annual training a year is updated training to keep him certified and me certified. It's $250 a year for narcotics. And he had told me that whenever we do the track and trail with the narcotics, that he would discount that for.
Mhm.
So we're looking at about $350 a year for me to maintain the training. That's not counting my salary when I'm going down there or what have you. But
Right.
other than that, the training every year is roughly $350 if I do both. And it's unlimited training throughout the year. Once you're certified, you got a year to do all the training you want with him. And then every year you just keep paying to research your training certification.
So as of this date, what would we have to pay right now if we?
I've got it set up, if it's back, that I can do everything off of donations. And most of the departments that I've checked with and stuff, that's how they operate most of their K-9 units. They set up a donation fund for them, and that money goes in and funds the dog for whatever you need. And there's a lot of agencies that's doing that now, because the budgets in these cities is not there.
What about transportation?
Do what?
What about transporting the dog?
The transport? I spoke with with Benny, and he agreed to donate the white Impala that he got from the city and turn that into the K-9 car so we wouldn't have to do one of the Chargers. And also, if we went that route, then we could split it, have the seats and stuff customized where it can still be used as a transport vehicle, along with the transport of the dog if we needed to, and give a car up so we wouldn't be down 2 cars, we'd only be down 1 car. That way my car would go to somebody else in the department, and we just solely keep that car. And if I need to deploy the dog when we need him, I can. If I need to transport, I can. And all the equipment that goes in the car, we pretty much got all the equipment that come off of them cars
We just have to
and
stripe
stuff
it.
like that. We just have to stripe, and we've actually got 2 stripe kits. All the lights and stuff, I have all the lights that we need to go back in it and stuff like that.
Now, the benefits of the dog, let's say, I'm using this for instance because I don't really know, but let's say the dog hits on a car or van, whatever, and you end up finding $20,000 in cash and drugs. How does it benefit the city? Do we get
That
the money
goes
once
back.
it goes to the
All
court?
the money, anything that is seized with him during the scope of our duties would benefit the city. Once we take it to court, it gets released, it goes into the city funds or what have you, for the police and stuff like that.
It goes into a
It
fund
goes
we'd
into
have
the
to
police
set up.
funds,
You
yeah,
gotta have a drug fund set up
Right.
Yeah,
for the
for
dog.
that money to go in, and it can only be spent
For city.
for the purpose of fighting narcotics.
That's a good thing.
Now,
Yes.
does that include, like,
Exactly.
let's say you said for the purpose of fighting narcotics,
yeah.
that would include, we'd be able to pay for his training or,
You can pay for the training, you can buy drugs,
Yeah.
you can,
Officers, what they need to,
Equipment,
equipments in the police force.
I mean, the equipment you need for the dog.
For drug
If you go in and there's drugs in a car and you
We
arrest
can
that
seize the
person, you can
vehicles
seize
and-
that vehicle and you'll
Sell
have
it.
it to
Flip it.
sell.
yeah, we can either use it for, police purposes. Usually when you take a narcotic seizure of vehicles, you, if you decide to end up keeping them, you have to use them solely from the police chief down.
Yeah.
Right. Not anywhere else in the
Not
city, just the
anywhere
police
else. They have
department.
to be used just for that purpose because they were seized by a drug dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the other thing that helps us now, whenever you go to get a probable cause to search a vehicle or whatever, with a dog, you do a sniff search. You walk him around, he hits. That gives us a probable cause to go in without the warrant.
Otherwise, you'd have to get a warrant to search it.
Otherwise,
That's
you have to get
apartments
a warrant,
too,
get it
not
signed. Yeah.
Well, have you actually saw this dog at work? I mean, you
I have
saw
seen him
actually
work.
do that.
I have seen him work with the guy that sells them and trains them. I can do some stuff with him that he showed me to kind of keep him active until I go back through the handler school. And once I'm certified, you know, I've been using my personal vehicle, working around it, and pretty much get him torqued up a little bit, hide his tug toy, put him on it, he goes to work. He has been done. Until I'm certified, I really don't want to do that, but once I
Right.
take that training
Yeah.
and do all the demonstrations we need to do.
How will that affect our manning in the police department, Wayne? Will that require another additional police officer be authorized? Because Jackie will be tied up with the dog, right? And,
He'll be tied up, but how much time he'll frame, I don't know.
Okay.
How frame he'll be tied up training this dog.
Now, the training on the 4 hours additional a month, you train 4 hours additional, I'll train on my time.
Yeah.
That way I don't have any distractions and stuff. I'll train at my time with him.
that wouldn't be right. The city can't,
Well,
I
it
don't
would
think the
be-
city can
There
accommodate.
would be no liability to the city, no compensation.
No, it'll be liable. The city will be liable for everything the dog does. We will be liable now, you know.
Doing the training, I'm,
Answer it for me.
no,
Federally, he'd be required 8 hours every 2 weeks overtime. That is for the maintenance of the dog, that is for the training, cause he'll have to continuously work with it. Clean his cage and all that, that's a cover-off, that's a federal statute, that
How many hours a week?
8 hours.
it's 8 hours every pay period is what it is. It's 4 hours a week.
We've already got that worked in. I noticed we got a
already in
sheet
there.
we got already worked in for overtime for our police department.
And that's a cover-all, it's in the statute, because when I was at the sheriff's office, I trained with the canines.
Yeah.
And the canine unit is, that's for the continuous training. You gotta give a lot of, attention to the dog and everything.
But what I'm really concerned about is, I'm not, it's a good thing for the dog, but how's it gonna leave the manning in the police? We only authorize 6 officers. We have 7, but we only authorize 6. We have 1, but how's that gonna affect the manning for the regular routine duties of the police officers if Jackie's tied up?
It wouldn't affect none of it. 'Cause
No, I mean, the
only time
dog's
he'd come
with him
out
all
when
the
we were
time.
working.
Been working, yeah,
Right.
okay.
It wouldn't take away a man or any of that. The only time we would deploy him was when we do traffic stops or road checks.
When they need him.
And when we
Not
need
every
him.
day. He's
Not
not-
every day. He's not a
Okay.
patrol
He's not a
dog.
40-hour worker.
Okay. Then one other thing then. Have we ever confiscated any kind of equipment or vehicles or anything from people that we've had drug raids on? Have we confiscated anything that the city has benefited from? Like, have we cashed it in, so to speak?
Not
Like a
since I've
big-
been here, but somebody been here longer than I have, Mike, to tell you.
Now, they did have
They did
one
when Mikey and them was here, I remember.
Because when I worked over at the high school, they brought him over there, and he'd go just like a straight down that hall. He didn't look right or left. He'd come to one of those lockers. He'd pounce on that locker and just tear the place. Seemed like his name was Bingo or Bambo.
Yeah,
or,
that was
was it Bingo? Bingo. was-
Banjo.
That's the one that was killed, isn't it?
That was the state.
When Derek was here
Yeah, that's
too,
when
they had
they
a
shot him.
$6,000 confiscation of money.
Huh?
We're
When
probably
Derek was
missing
here,
a
there was
lot of
$6,000
opportunities
that
to
was
get some of these drug
confiscated.
dealers
Didn't
off
the
the
city
street.
get it?
Smart.
I
It
know.
went
I had
into
an
account
incident
for the
earlier
police
today,
department, for them to buy equipment.
Me and Wayne was on at the same time I got the actual complaint. We had dope sold to a 14-year-old kid over here in the park. And I've already found out who made the sale to the juvenile. And, he's going to benefit us a lot with all of our parks and all of the stuff.
What's his name?
Harley.
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 Okay.
Harley Davidson.
He's,
Harley Davidson.
He was,
Good name.
The other one was Bingo. He's one that killed him.
Sound like a Davidson.
but like I said, he's not an aggressive dog or anything.
Well, as far as insurance goes, we have insurance. Would we have to have a special
16.
insurance?
I don't know, I think Robin asked me a minute ago about our city insurance.
And Charles said
What we'd have to do is ask
Well,
them.
that's what she asked me today. She said that if I picked the policy up on him for $100,000, it'll cost $1,650. If I add the city onto it, that way it covers everything, then it's a little bit more. She didn't tell me what it was. She said, but it wasn't much more. But they had quoted her and told her that if our insurance, they said that our insurance company should cover in the scope of the duties.
That's another thing, Mr. Boggs, if who would be liable? Whose dog will that be, and under these circumstances, the way it's set up?
I haven't seen the setup, but from what I'm hearing him say, it's gonna be the city's dog.
It'll be focused under the city. It'll be under the city if the city goes on with it. If we don't, then I will go ahead and pay for the dog myself. The dog will belong to me. At any course he's ever had to be put down or retired out, he'll retire to me.
But
And the
he's-
benefits still go towards the department.
So,
He was asking for the 2,500 cost to the city.
That wouldn't be a cost. If it goes
If it
through,
goes donated.
I'll hustle that through and get the donations to fund the dog and the project, so the city won't be out anything. If
Well, the
anything,
city-
it'll be little.
but the city he should be a contractor then, or something of that nature for the city, because you couldn't expect him to go out all the expenses and stuff like that and not reimburse him.
Well, you pull it on, if you pull it on and you come up with the figure that you wanna go and back me with it, then we classify him as a city, as the city's canine. But in the fact that if anything happens to him that he has to retire out due to an injury or whatever, he'd fall back to me. Once he's trained with me, because he's not gonna be able to go anywhere and do anything after that. Once
Check
he's
with their
retired out.
insurance policy and see if they could just add on that and be a lot cheaper on that.
It might be more expensive, but we'll check though.
Check, because I think that is an outstanding idea. I think
Yeah.
that is one of the best things. That's good for relationship in the schools,
Yes.
first of all.
And
It's
they
also
don't-
good to kind of.
It's definitely intimidation to walk through these parks and
Yeah, these
places
parks.
they can't search, and they walk over there and that dog
They
hits
don't
on
pay
it, they're
any
gonna.
attention to them anyway. They go down
What,
that
what do you
high
think, Wayne? I
school.
mean,
Yeah,
are
It's
you-
a good idea, I mean,
Oh,
You mean
yeah.
the part of the ownership? I would think this dog needs to stay with his owner. Like
Well, yeah,
the-
they have to.
Because, you know,
They
I
don't
mean,
work,
the
but-
city don't need to
Yeah.
have a
They
dog
work
and then
with
if
No,
something happened to
the
Jack.
dog has to stay with him.
It's gonna have one handler.
Because they
I've
don't
already
work
had
with
him,
anybody else.
I've had, the kennel was donated to me, and, all that stuff. I've got cameras that I'm getting ready to put on him and stuff like that. But as far as taking care of him and stuff, that's sort of why I took on this endeavor. I started this over in Whitesburg.
let me
And
ask you one other question here. All there probably things is, but I wanna know from my personal one. How long is this dog good for?
7 years right now.
How many, age-wise, you say he's what, three down,
He's 2.
two down?
They give me a 7-year workability on him right now.
So he's got maybe a 5 year.
He's got 5 to 6 years
5
worth.
years.
That's pretty good span.
That's probably more than I've done.
He's he's definitely a young dog.
If he goes down during the course of that, they replace with him, and the cost cuts in half to replace the dog. That's why he gave me the donation of the 7,500, sold me him, that way I could hurry and get him back on the road. Because he'd been in the school for almost a year whenever he come back. The last handler that had him couldn't no longer keep him where they was at, because they was living in an apartment complex, and everybody was feared because of a police dog. And they couldn't get that through to the landlord, so they give the dog back, and then he'd come back up on the market.
Well, you know, one thing here, that it's gonna require some additional expenses to the city of Cumberland. Now, we got this alcoholic beverage tax we're charging 1%. I'm gonna bring that up. That should be 3%, same as buying a hamburger. And-
Well, there was a lawsuit against that now
No,
years
no,
ago.
No, the council is the one that made the law. The two attorneys cannot have a get together and agree. I don't think they can agree without coming to the council and say, you're gonna have to change your law.
Well, I've looked at this also, and I do think that a 3%, I didn't realize that we was paying 3% on our food, through restaurant food, and 1% on alcohol.
Yes.
Our police force don't arrest anybody for overeating. And I say that we take a look at raising this, enforcing our ordinance to 3%, which would go to operate to our police
To the
force.
police department.
And I'm thinking that what I'm looking at, Robin could tell me, is it like $144,000 to operate our police force with payroll and everything a year? How much total?
Yeah, I'd say it is.
About $144,000 we're looking
She
at?
told us how much though at 1% we were getting per
Those
month.
dogs.
Yeah.
Roughly
What was that
3,000,
total?
30,000.
And our businesses,
2,500 to 3,000 a month.
2,500.
It's on here right now.
And
He's
it's going-
got
Right by 'em like a duck on.
and our businesses is not paying this. This is coming out of people's pocket when they go buy
That's
this.
right, yeah.
Well, you'll lose 3 businesses right off the bat if you raise it to 3%.
But I'm for raising it myself. We
Well,
can
you
take a
gotta
look
be
at
real
it.
careful with that though, Mom, because if you don't show, keep your records, that money's going right back.
For the
in
police department.
It
You're in
should
bad
go.
serious trouble.
It should be put right back in our police department.
When their expenses goes up and they're paid by the city, that's how you see that money is going in the police department.
I've not seen that yet, though. It's not been going to the
But
police
it
department.
has to go back.
It's
on-
dumped in the general
If I
fund.
understand this right now, Wayne, you back me up or tell me I'm wrong. But the way I understand it is, if you use this alcohol tax to go back in the police department, you have to prove you're making alcohol-related arrests or stops.
That should
It
be
has to
done
there.
anyway.
I think the
Many
parts
drugs
of
now
I
are
think you
coming,
have
that's
to-
Well-
so many arrests has to do with alcohol.
Well, are you
That's
doing,
right.
Not
okay,
all of it.
Yeah,
Certain
yeah, but you've got to
percentage.
show so many that money is warranted.
okay,
So
but.
we
It's not
got
per
that,
month,
we got
you're
that
right.
much percentage without even trying.
Well,
Many drugs,
see-
they are in Cumberland.
You gotta realize we're already charging the alcohol tax. So if there's any kind of requirements on the police department, they're already doing it.
Right.
But,
Well, I know that, but
just
Well,
the
I mean,
amount that we're
seeing
charging.
if you raise it up though, you better sure keep yourself a flat.
And we've just been
We-
talking about a water department. This releases money from the city to focus
yeah.
on fixing the things in
That's
the
right.
water department that we're
You can't
putting
use
into
it
police
for that.
department. And we should, the
Yeah, no,
alcohol
you
tax
can't
would
use
go
it.
for
It
the
has to go to
police
police
department.
department.
You can't use it for anything.
goes
No, I
to the
mean, the
police
alcohol
department.
tax would go to the police department, releasing the city of responsibility
That's-
of the police
that's
department,
right.
while the police department.
But back in '07, we passed putting House Bill 413 money in a separate account. The council did. It's never been done. That would give them $12,000 a year sitting in the kitty to use. And even Andrea Schindelbauer from the League of Cities, whenever I contacted them, they sent me an email saying it's not appropriate to dump that money into the general fund. It's been done for years. But it's supposed to be put in a separate account, and we passed doing that.
Yeah.
That would pay for that dog alone.
Well,
And any other cost you all need.
what you gotta understand, when you do the budget, if Jackie or Wayne will come up and say, well, we're gonna have to have another additional $12,000 or $14,000 to operate this dog program.
Don't you remember when
Then
House Bill
your
413?
budget is increased to that amount of money. That's how your money goes into the police department, by your budget now. But now, as far as going into a separate account, that's wrong. All the money goes into the general fund, then it's put into accounts within the police department when we do our budget. But no money has to be made up in special accounts.
Now, I
We got
disagree.
rid of
We already
16
did.
accounts.
We already did House Bill 413 money in '07 to put it in a separate account. It's not being done. But that's for the police department. We wouldn't get that money without them.
I would just want the people buying the beer to pay the same as my hamburger.
That's exactly right.
That's me. I'm for raising it.
3 cents for a hamburger and a
Wasn't you on council when they,
I'm for it if it's
the
done
liquor
right.
store owners filed suit
That's what
over
we gotta
that?
watch.
No, I didn't get involved in that for some reason. I wasn't there for that, but I understand
You should've seen, though,
this
the-
was a,
terror that hit us upside the head. We need some break bringing up the whiskey tax.
Well,
They shoot at us from the sidewalk.
The businesses is not paying it, the people that's buying it is
that's
paying it.
it's an excise
It's
tax.
not the businesses, it's from the people.
And I don't think the business would ever realize that there's been a change in the price of the beer or whiskey or whatever it is. Because they probably gain if it goes to 3%, they'll probably gain a nickel.
He's a good, strong dog, ain't he?
Yeah, he's,
If you just seen him over there, I just happened to be fortunate enough to be teaching at that
he was
time.
65 pounds when I picked him up, and he told me to gain about 5-10 more pounds on him.
I think the dogs get, I think what you need to do is, get us a complete list of what it's gonna cost for not just doing stuff for free now. I mean, like, whatever it needs to take care of the dog, and let us know the,
What I've got on the list already, I was looking at about $2,100.
for a year
Year.
total.
And that's with his food,
Is insurance?
because he can't be food, that's with the insurance, the food. I've already paid for all the equipment that goes to him, his tracking leashes, the agitation leash and the harness, stuff like that. I've already paid for stuff like that.
What if you leave the city, Jackie?
Do what, sir?
You're gonna leave the dog with us if you leave?
Hey,
No, no, that's part of it.
that dog will go home with you,
Dogs
he'd go home with anybody in this room and not have a problem with it.
You just have to get the training to work with it.
You just have to be certified to work. So,
You plan on going anywhere?
no. I came back this last time, I left the last time. And I came back, I live here, you know, I can't uproot and leave when I got a home and stuff here, you know.
Well, what's the council think? You need to get an estimate on the cost so we can include it in?
I think that's good, and I think you need to check on the insurance.
And,
Robin needs to check on the insurance with our carrier. We're already
He'd be well
paying so
worth
much
his
anyway, I
weight
don't know
if
why
he
it would
can.
matter if we paid a
If
little
one
bit more.
child gets
I can
out
tell
of
you, I
drugs
support the dog. I
because of
mean,
him,
we just
he's
wanna make
gonna
sure
take
that we're
a
covered on
kid and
everything.
take the can.
We also take in consideration if you have a missing person,
Mhm.
a missing child, he can track. He's
Can he-
tracking
can he-
capability. He's not apprehension tracking, he's track and trail.
Is anybody in here got any drugs that he could track, if?
Well, let me go out and stand in the street for a minute and I'll guarantee you.
I'd say you turn him loose out there, he'd go find some out there real quick.
Get,
I know she's not been all interested.
I can get training dope. I've got some training dope that I've been working with him with. And I've been using my truck and he scratched my truck all to pieces.
Yeah.
But he,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta get him torqued up and stuff, get him up and ready to go. Take him to what he does. He works off of right to left and left back to right. Is the way he goes, the way they trained him.
Well, I'm all for it. I think it's wonderful.
Oh,
I
I do
think the
too.
dog can go through these parks and go through this town and.
And they
Okay.
know a locker's got drugs in it, and one that's got nothing in it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get the estimates and kind of get a pricing and things and give
And
them.
to my knowledge, Benny was willing to donate the car to the city for the dog. That would prevent us from tearing one of the charges up, taking seats out and modifying that car for the dog.
Are you talking about the car that he bought off the city?
The white one, yeah.
We're going to give his money back.
Let's hear it, Bubby.
Write a check.
Cause he sheds a lot
Write one of them checks, sir.
and he's going, you know,
Okay,
We ain't cashed the check yet.
it needs some work.
Don't crash it.
yeah, it needs probably a tune-up, maybe taller stuff, yeah.
Don't forget. you
And remember,
said-
the car is only used here in town.
Yeah, that car's only gonna be used, so.
No, I mean, it's just right here to transport the dog. It's not, you got cars to
And, you know, like I
transport him.
said,
You gotta keep an eye on the water, you gotta keep an eye on the.
Well, we'll get it done then, and we'll try to get a real good estimate of what it's gonna cost us. And I think,
I've got most of it already wrote down,
Okay.
in the car.
I've rode all over mine.
And, that's pretty much what it's gonna take to get him
that seems like
started.
an awful list, a little bit. I mean, 2,500, right?
Yeah, that's right, it's roughly, I think it's 2,500.
$2,420.
That's-
Well, remember, most of everything's already been donated for the
Yeah,
dog.
because
Yeah,
Okay.
we're getting out of $7,500 for this
You
dog.
might get businesses to donate too.
Yeah.
I've already, you know, that's another thing, I've already collected right at $700 donation money.
Yeah.
I've got pledges from one and wanted to make it out to the city. So
But
that-
until we
that puts
decide
me
on
almost
it,
$900.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've got money already,
You've read it, okay.
and, you know, I don't see a reason why people won't back him.
maybe we
I
can
back
do
you.
a roadblock.
They just
Council
won't-
get out and do a roadblock.
And I'd even checked with the Little League about, the Blackberry Festival getting the Dunkin' booth. And using it, and the proceeds from the Dunkin' booth go partial to us and partial to the Little League. So they benefit from it also.
Who's gonna be sitting,
I'd say you could check with
Well,
some
we
of the
do,
mine
you,
industries
Carl.
around here.
We was gonna set,
The mayor has to do that.
Yeah,
we was
Mayor
gonna do
has
the
said
cops,
it, but we're
if any
gonna
of the
go
other police
policy.
officers wanted to sit in it.
There'll be a lot of people. Everybody loves the water bill.
lined up, and
Everybody should cut off.
You know,
part of the-
you might check with some of the coal mines too for donations, because, I mean, they do drug testing and stuff all the time, not saying that is a bad way, but I mean, they do. I mean,
That's true.
it's something beneficial to everybody.
And also, one of the mines has had got somebody missing or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They tried.
Well, I think they passed a law at the mines now to where they have to do drug check. They're gonna start doing.
Well, you
drug
remember,
testing
we had
on
a
all of it.
fatality in the mines a couple years ago, and they actually brought in 2 dogs
Yeah.
to find this man because nobody else could. And the dogs went in there and found him.
They used the one to find them and the other one to double check it.
Yeah, one was, I can't remember, one dog was,
Was a cadaver dog.
A cadaver dog, and the other was,
The other one was track and trail.
yeah.
But let's move on, Jackie. I think you sold the product, buddy. And,
We sure appreciate
so-
you coming.
Yes,
sure do.
thank you much.
Letting you come.
And what on the count? What would the council? You want to discuss things with Wayne now, since we're in the police category?
Sure.
Wayne, if you want to make your report.
Yeah, I've got something to report here.
what's your last name, bud?
Stuart,
Jackie
I know it's
Stewart.
just well better than that.
You ain't from the Stewarts around here?
all my
James
uncles-
Stewart used to be at Lynch.
We'll take Ben's to him.
Norman,
all mine
uh,
from Hampton.
Oh, okay.
Give us one here too. I'm gonna take Ben's to him.
Police chief up there.
You- You're all for that, right?
Yeah, that's your.
Yeah, as long as it don't cost us much, we get
This is
benefit out
Ben's.
of it.
I'm gonna take his to him tomorrow.
I can live with it.
See him in the morning.
Jimmy Stewart, I'm at school, didn't he?
37 arrests, right there. There's that alcohol tax. Ben. We're doing it.
I'd like to say, we've got an outstanding police department right now.
Who all's on our police department now? That's one thing I'd like to know.
Well, let me tell you this, and then I'll tell you who our new ones are that I've hired in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I've hired Jason Blanton, which was our local constable here. He's a officer for the Cumberland Police Department now. I also hired a guy named Timothy Howard. He's been a police officer for 12 years. He's academy trained. I hired him about 2 days ago. And Mr. Cody Williams is coming back with us Thursday.
Oh, he is?
I've
I'm
got
glad to
3
hear
days-
that.
3 police officers back in the last three or 4 weeks.
And he's coming back Thursday?
Yeah, Cody will be. The other 2 are back already, started with us.
is,
And that'll make us a total of 7 when I get Mr. Williams back, or Williams' son
are
back.
they academy
Did you
trained?
say Tim's last name was?
Howard,
Tim Harris.
it's old Joe Howard. You remember Joe Howard?
Oh, yeah.
That's his son.
He's academy trained already.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
is this Jason Blanton, some of the Johnny Blanton bunch?
And Jason's academy trained or gone?
Different, yeah.
He's got to go to academy, but he's been a constable here for a little over 1.5 years now.
And Cody's still, he's
And Cody's got to go to academy.
He's a
also.
good kid, and
We got two unacademy trained, but our grant that we're receiving,
will pay for it.
we'll pay for it, and it says we have to have at least one non-academy trained officer.
One
before
recruit.
we continue receiving this.
Yeah.
Also, for the mayor's information and your all's, I drew down $8,000 and some odd dollars today from that grant,
Which
for the cops grant.
cops grant?
It
For
goes
that
for,
other officer.
Yeah, okay.
my calculation, Robin can maybe correct me a little bit, but I'm showing left in this cops grant, $34,759 and some odd cents. I don't know what the odd cents is, I didn't write it down, but that's close enough for government work.
That's what's left in
That's
it?
what's left in it. And I did get an extension put on it, so it will be good through June of next year. It was gonna run out in June of this year, or June or July of this year.
So you use the 8,000 for this,
You just draw it down every quarterly.
every quarterly?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
a quarter we can draw it back out. So,
$8,000 a quarter.
yeah, give or take a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 807, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was gonna run out this July, and we filed for it, and they gave us another extension for next year at this time.
July
Probably
2013.
2013. If we hadn't applied for this, we was gonna lose it. We almost lost it because we didn't apply for it in time, but I did
That's
get to
because you
receive
didn't have that
information.
officer with me.
No, just because we didn't do the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
But it's all cleared up, and we didn't want to lose this kind of money. I mean,
No, it's good money.
until that, we had $40-some thousand, we got the 8,000 now, so that's a lot of money just to give us, you know, it's all right. That's what's been going on, and we will have, like I said, as of Thursday afternoon, we'll have 7 full-time police officers.
What
in the
about
city
your
of Cumberland.
tasers? Have you got your tasers yet?
I haven't heard from that grant yet,
Ain't
but
heard a word.
probably we'll hear, I think it was sometime after July, probably before we'll hear from them, because you know how that goes, you gotta apply ahead of time, then we hope we'll get them, but
Yeah.
we ain't heard no negative nothing, put it that way. As long as we don't hear no good news or bad news or whatever, that's good, probably.
I'd say it will, it'll go.
I think we'll see. Anything else about it?
I got one thing for Silas. While you're sitting here, Silas, what about this, signing the contract for the Masons down here? Was that done in
It was brought
December?
up- It was brought up the last meeting, and it was tabled until an attorney can look at the.
Well, gee, that was been going on. That was supposed to be signed in December,
Well, you got a
December,
new
January,
master
February,
come-
March, April.
You got a new master that comes in, and he can't enter a contract longer than his term. And then the new master wants to
Even though
have an
nobody
attorney
is.
look at it to see if he can enter into that contract. Because it's 10 years, and the master's only there for a year.
We are building them all.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh.
Silas?
Yeah.
We are building them.
To to update you on our part of it, we just put a brand new roof on the lodge, so it does have
Oh,
a
yeah, I
brand
did
new
see
roof
that.
on
That
it.
looks good.
So,
But now you all are paying the utilities and the,
On the lower part too?
Probably.
We just haven't signed the contract?
you think something's coming
what do you have in for how long that's gonna be? Cause that's,
Parker, how long does it take to review the contract?
It's not me.
No, I'm just saying, attorney
I
standpoint.
can do it.
Who's attorney?
A lot less time than that, I'll tell you that.
Whoever he uses
I don't
as
know.
attorney.
I'm not saying
cause now,
anything, but
see, in
I thought-
December's when I thought it was gonna
I
be
thought
Silas,
that-
that's the reason I was asking.
I thought they authorized you to
If
sign
it's
it.
left up to
They,
the
they
outside
did, the
today,
count,
yeah.
our contract has been
You
signed.
all have agreed to it.
Yeah,
You've authorized the mayor to sign it,
We drew it up, it was 10 years, wasn't it?
and,
10 years.
you offered them a 10-year contract, and it's their attorney who's looking at it, and I don't know who that is, and I haven't heard any call from it, but if there's any, I'll tell you, you know, Silas, if there's any changes or anything that you need us to look at, I'll certainly do it.
well, we do need kinda like a deadline on it, you know?
We've already had a deadline.
So I'll probably know more about it.
Yeah, no, by the next
Anything
council
I can
meeting,
do,
tell
I'll be
Wayne or
happy to
something,
do.
or tell the mayor or somebody.
But it's been, members tabled it.
Yeah, cause that was December,
We done our elections on December 27th. so
yeah, I know that, you said you're gonna have a new one, y'all
The
take care of
second
it
Saturday,
then.
the second Saturday in January, we done, that was our first meeting, and that's when it was tabled.
Silas, who did the roof? Can you give me their name and telephone number?
Johnny Saylor from Wallens,
Donnie Saylor.
Johnny.
He's
Johnny.
good.
Now, we just paid, the only thing we had to pay for
You get
was the
that.
metal. He donated the labor. We
But
bought the. we
He's a
bought the metal.
contractor.
Yeah,
He-
we
okay.
bought the metal from, Middlesboro, and he put the roof on for free. He didn't charge us a dime.
Where's he
Is he
at?
a member?
Wallens.
I mean,
His
he's a
daddy
mason.
was, his daddy was
Oh,
a member of
okay.
Wallens Lodge.
So we couldn't get the same deal then?
Unless
That's what I'm after.
unless his daddy was a former mayor or something, but you check on that.
We can't get the same deal.
We're dealing
I'd
with
just like to see
people
the
that put
contract
one on
get
that,
signed, and,
water plant.
library
is it $1?
and another
Same
guy.
people?
Yeah, we're trying to get an estimate from them.
I mean, if they need something different, just tell them, let us know, so we can,
Yeah, I mean, cause that does need to be signed, that's been, I can't figure out what would need to be different, same thing, except the time is different.
Yeah. Well, his concern was signing it and it going beyond his term as master.
how long
We
is
can
his
shorten it
term?
down to every year then, if y'all want us to do it.
How long is his term? We
A
can,
year, 1 year.
But he just signed
We could do it.
on behalf of the lodge.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
Obligated.
affect his
You
term.
gotta,
No.
you gotta understand, I've explained that to him. and
Okay.
we can do it by year if they want to.
That's why I said we
Don't-
change
don't
it.
worry,
to
don't
a
worry.
agreement.
They're gonna find out that it's okay for them. You know, when the lawyer tells them, I've told them that you're just signing on behalf of the lodge agreement.
We've not really changed anything other than the $1 a year, and just in case we needed it for emergency, but we're getting ready to put a roof on our building, so.
We
I
need to
will
move
promise you
in there.
this, whether he's heard anything about it, I will bring it before the lodge Saturday night.
Okay.
And I will make a motion that we accept that contract.
Yeah, we're not trying to push them out or do anything, we just wanna, it's just,
Because we're paying utilities anyway, I don't understand
Well,
why.
you just
and it's
gotta have
$1
your
for
T's
10
crossed.
years.
I got $1 right now to pay you.
I know, it's that simple.
Yeah, that's.
Heck, I'd donate them the $1.
I don't think they ever paid that first $1, to be honest with you.
Because that was our obligation as a lodge to keep up with the roof. That you all come down and look at it and just, you know, they didn't
They
raise
can't come
it.
together though.
Yeah, they just put a metal roof
They
on
just
it.
put a metal roof on it where it just, you know, it already had a pitch on it. They said they, with no sense in just raising it above the building.
Can we move on now to,
Yeah,
Maintenance
since
department?
I was out of in Silas.
Okay.
We need
we
to.
let Stanley, if you have any questions for the maintenance of roads and sidewalks?
Give me beans too. I'm gonna take beans to you.
What do we pick up the cardboard for?
Excuse me.
What do we pick up the cardboard for? I mean, who's that for?
It goes to the recycle, keeps it out of the packer,
I mean,
gives us more room in the
does
packer.
it cost us labor to pick up this,
I only
this
got
material and
just-
then we give it to the county?
I've just got a few places. I got those rip-rap baskets around, and I can't put one at Black Bear Restaurant. They very rarely have cardboard or Crestline.
But what I was getting is, are we paying labor to pick up the boxes and then we are giving it to the county, or are we selling it, or what are we doing?
They come every week and pick it up there. I don't know if they pay
Well,
him, give the city any money for it.
No,
or
but
not.
we save money by not putting it in their packer. That's the only savings we get. They don't pay us for any of that. They sell it for $40 a ton though. That's why
Yeah.
it goes, but they don't pay us for it. And they pick it up. We don't pick it
I
up.
just pick
I
up,
see them
I
picking
just
it
pick up a
up.
few places.
I see them picking it up in the
Yeah.
pickup truck. That's why I was asking. We pay gas and labor to pick it up.
Yeah,
I understand it saves money in the packer. I was just looking at it as,
it's,
I
but
guess
if
it's a
we
give
had a
and take.
compactor, it would be a good business for the city if we had a
Well,
compactor.
Okay, the compactor's $10,000.
Yeah.
And it's a three-phase, you'd have to have three-phase
Electricity,
up there.
yeah.
And then you'd have to have somebody to run it.
Yeah.
or you can convert it from three-phase
Well, I'm
to
just,
single
the one
phase,
that's,
two-phase.
one that the guy up here in town's got for sale.
Rudy,
Yeah,
yeah, but he don't want $10,000 for it.
that's what he told me.
I don't think it was that.
That's what he told me. I mean, I'm just going by what he told me.
Okay,
We better not buy that.
no.
No.
No, I need,
We got a water problem.
I need a new floor jack,
Fixed brakes on the Ford, which Ford truck?
the white one. See
I'm
what
not-
happened? Okay,
I noticed the tail lights broken out of one of them.
that's the Ford.
The
I
white
mean,
one.
we need to fix stuff like that. Busted tail lights, brake lights out, check all these vehicles and maintain them.
Well, we'll have to take it to a body shop to get it fixed.
What happened to it?
It got back into the Packer. Packer was
Did
sitting
we ever
there.
get a report where it was damage done to it? Because, I mean, that's something we should have probably turned in and got it fixed, either fixed it or had it.
That was done how long ago?
Well, about a year ago or longer.
Yeah. It's been done as long as I can remember.
We still got to put
We
a tail
taped it
light
up
in it, that's the
once.
law.
Yeah.
Well, I've got lights in it, I just got that plastic over it.
And Sandbag Cumberland Avenue.
Yes,
Oh, that's for that,
down here's about a drain.
Have we heard
Part
from
of the
him
grant.
about the repairs on that? He wasn't at last month's meeting.
I talked to him today, I talked to Leo about it, and they can't give me an answer. They just, they can't
I
say
don't know where
when.
that $80,000 went that was supposed to be in.
No, it's more than that.
It's,
the
no, it's
appropriated-
part of that $3 million.
Yeah.
They incorporated that with that water lift stations and things, so that we wouldn't have to pay matching funds.
well, what is the problem with
Have we got any of
fixing
it?
the ditch?
Well, we got to get a permit from the state to go across the highway. That's one, but
That
see.
probably should be
that's-
easy enough, I'm sure.
But they do this, the engineering firm, the engineers are doing this, and you can't build a fire under them. You can just pester them and talk to them and ask them, but
We can't build a fire on them, but I guarantee you we're gonna get sued when people's property's getting flooded.
Are you talking about on Back Street where
Yeah.
their place is at?
Yeah.
You mean there's still nothing going on there? What is about the money?
Okay, here it is.
Cause now
It
was,
was in your packets.
Right.
It was an email from Whitney Chestnut, and they're gonna have a,
on the
where they give the
the
award out.
13th, you're supposed to be there too. We were gonna tell you about it.
oh, you were?
Yeah.
Well, it's in your
It-
packet.
It's in
This
your
month?
packet,
It's
yeah.
in your packet,
The
yeah.
13th, Friday.
13th of April.
Right.
Where's it at?
Hal Rogers, he's wanting to make get a big
Building.
picture issue out of it.
Yeah, 'cause we ain't got no money yet.
And that's
They're
what it
bringing a
is.
fake check down here Friday.
Gonna get a fake check.
I think we should have a
You great
protest
big
then.
checks are on.
No, don't,
Yeah.
no, way to get the money.
But now it's an
We ain't got no
email.
money
But
yet.
this is the money that we thought that Leo already had.
Well, no, he's
All they do.
handling it.
Well, I tell you what, we need to give them some pictures for the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right there.
Next time that street floods and floods people's apartment building, get you some cameras and get you some pictures and see how they like that instead of fixing it.
This
I
is
think
what
it's
you're-
bull crap.
Well, sometimes you have to kind of put fire into people, get them going,
Well-
you have to threaten them. They ain't gonna
Put the
get
media on
nowhere.
it.
Well, you had your congressman there that's once holding it up. Now,
Yeah, because they want to be able to come in and present it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got the money awarded like back in November.
We just now,
Where's the
But we-
money?
he's just now
He's
coming
still
in to get
got
his
it.
fake check.
We ain't got
To
it
get a
yet.
picture
Our
of
ain't got
politicians
it
come and
yet.
get the fake check,
See,
and when does the
November.
fake check become a real money to us to get
It's
the
Hal
things
coming
fixed?
in.
Probably be released not long after that.
Hal Rogers.
Hal
Yeah.
Rogers.
They'll all be here Friday at 1.
I like to see everybody standing, put their hands in their own pockets and keep them.
I just think it's a shame. There's a telephone pole right in the middle of it that's gonna fall over. It pulled up the sidewalk. I'm sure Wayne's seen that when they patrol out there.
It's the senior citizen.
It's stuck right through the middle of the, I don't know what somebody was thinking when, it looks like it's in the middle of the cupboard.
Well, the
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
the
yeah.
drain pipe is not there. The drain pipe is on the left.
I'm just saying it looks that way. It's undermined everything.
And the only reason that water goes down is there's a drain there. And the inside of that drain, it fell in, and that's letting the water release to go into the other drain that goes across the road.
I just know it needs to be fixed. I don't know how many times we've talked about, I get sick of talking about stuff that never gets fixed.
It never gets fixed.
I don't know who you gotta build a fire under or who we need to drag around. I don't know what we gotta do. But it's,
Are you
things
still
have gotta
talking
be
about that
done.
water
Yeah.
situation? Well, let's give it till Friday, since they're coming and giving us a false
Fake
check.
check.
And let's see how it goes.
And then Leo and them should be able to tell you
Fake
when
check,
they
fake
can
promise.
bid it out and
Leo
all
should be
that.
there.
Yeah, because that's who sent us the email,
Yeah. Leo should be there.
Oh, Leo or young, well.
both of them,
What time's it gonna be?
at
Oh,
1.
Leo and young Leo, I ain't seen young Leo in a long time.
I saw him go today.
Did you?
Friday the 13th, Lord have mercy.
Okay, anybody have anything else
Oh,
for
God.
Stanley? Any more questions for Stanley? If not, we can move right on.
City clerk.
The next item on the agenda, back to the original agenda, is the playground equipment.
She's not here, you wanna put that off to the next meeting?
Can if you want to.
Well,
Okay.
she's not here.
We
She-
don't, I mean, we don't know
nothing
anything about it, so
So she
Yeah,
knows all the
we don't
figures
know.
and everything.
Okay.
That's it.
I wouldn't have any idea of what it's, any particular part about it.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is some tentative schedule for blacktopping the roads. Now, I did this on my own over in Fairview. I think that's one of the worst sections in town that needs blacktopping. And so we had Mountain Enterprises do the leveling, the measuring and things. And but we'll still have to have a public hearing to determine which streets we actually blacktop. And I think I put, you got a copy of the estimate from Mountain Enterprises. And it's got the prices of the streets there to be
Where's
blacktop.
this money coming from for this black copper?
The MRA fund, Municipal Road
That's
Aid,
the only thing you can spend that on.
How much you got in there?
Restricted.
about 45,000. I
How
think
much?
look on your financial statement.
How much is your blacktop gonna cost you?
It's your,
39, 672.
that includes blacktop in the maintenance yard.
I agree with
You
that.
might want to check, huh?
I agree with that. It
Okay.
needs to be done a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree, we need to have a public hearing though to see
Yeah.
about some of these properties here though.
Well, we do have to have a public hearing.
So you're saying that any blacktop we do, we've got the money, the 40, how much?
40,000.
Where was the money was there already streets on a list to be done?
No, not that I
We're
know
not
of.
skipping any?
No, not that I know of.
I think Martin Avenue, and over in there, we've tore up doing water lines.
Is that the one that's flooded all the time?
Yeah, we've tore a lot of
Yeah,
that
that
street up,
definitely's
the
gotta
city
be,
has.
'cause they'll probably have to pour it 6 inches thick to get you out of the mud.
And then that item 4 on your agenda, that's a mitigation award section scheduled for Friday, April the 13th at 1 p.m. at the Senior Citizens Building.
That's where we get the fake check.
That's
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's fake check day.
Fake check day.
So we don't need to go on more of that, do we?
I just think they're worth something.
Well, let's hope we get one that's fake and turns real.
Okay,
What do we need to do on the blacktop? When we got the public hearing scheduled?
it'll be sometime in May. Sometime in May, we have to schedule it, get the public to come in and.
Let's get it scheduled so we can get some blacktop.
We're
Find out
working
the
on
right
it. Okay.
properties.
Now, the other thing is, over in Fairview is the bridge there. We've been trying to get that little bridge, some way of getting that little bridge replaced. You know, the floodplain kind of dropped it.
That's a Blair Bridge up there, Blair's thing?
Yeah, where the road's
Where the old
closed.
dentist
Yeah.
office is.
There's another bridge coming into there,
Well,
isn't
there's
there?
actually
There was
two.
supposed to be two, but I don't think the I think the floodplain is withdrawn. So
No, I mean, I thought there's two
There's
ways in
already-
there now. There's two ways.
There's
in
a
there
way
now.
out up by
you can go
Food
down
City
Martin
and-
Street. You can come in on Martin Avenue or go across a bridge there at Shepherd Street, I think it is, right past at the rescue squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some places are only really big enough for a vehicle, barely a
On
vehicle.
Martin Street, it's almost a one-way
Fire
street.
truck or something.
Yeah.
Have you got a cost of like what it would cost to temporarily fix it, or is it destroyed beyond fixable, or?
Well, let me let me tell you what the state said here. The Kentucky Department of Highway District 11 office in Manchester is studying the options available to assist in your request to resolve the issue with the closed Blair Street Bridge. Once the bridge engineering staff completes analysis, it may be possible for the city to perform limited repairs with guidance from the Kentucky Department of Highways in order to reopen structure. Additionally, the project will be assessed with a determination made for possible inclusion in the federal bridge replacement program. And they think this bridge fits that situation, and they might replace the bridge. They're sending their engineers up to look at it.
I have one
Well,
question.
No problem with that.
On this email, it says to reopen the structure with a possible 5-ton reduced weight limit. The weight limit on the bridge is 3 tons.
3 ton, yes.
And there was a bus that crossed the bridge probably for the past 3 or 4 years, which has probably helped to make the structure more deteriorated than what it already is, which is now going across the other bridge to get in, which is probably destroying that bridge. So the school board may need to be
It's
contacted.
on them little roads here.
I didn't know they get a
Well,
bus in there.
it's a
It's the
emergency
small bus, but I talked to Manchester myself, and they said that bus shouldn't be crossing those bridges.
Yeah.
Well, how's kids gonna get to school? What are they gonna do? Meet them at the bridge?
This little bus, they're walking. The person that rides the bus is that Clarabelle Licence house right there, right at the bridge, and they walk over to go across the bridge and get on the bus right there at Main.
So it's a little school bus that's
It's a
going
little,
on there.
right, but the little bus is not even going over. It don't have to go over. They can pull up there at that dentist's office and stop and wait for them to pick up the kid right there. See,
I saw a Head Start bus go across it.
Well, is there a sign
it
there
going
that
across
says
it?
weight limit so much?
It's on both sides.
3 tons.
How much does the small bus weigh?
It weighed 3 tons, I'd say. Maybe about right at 3 tons, I imagine.
It'd have to be pretty close, because them average cruisers, what, about a ton?
I think the bus at least 2.5 tons anyway.
Yeah, I've seen they're kind of smaller buses, but they're kind of wide too.
I don't know what this means, but it says this bridge that we're talking about on Blair Street, the structure has a 17.9 sufficiency rating. This is a very low sufficiency rating, which may very well qualify the bridge for replacement funding.
It's probably where it's,
Deteriorated and
the concrete's
the
broken off.
Bottoms washed out.
You can stand on the other side of the bridge and look down and see the river.
Oh my gosh.
It's
is
for about that
tough.
far that way, a little line. But you can see where the bridge butts up against it.
So if they don't do something with it soon, we won't have to worry about tearing it down. It'll just
Water's gonna wash it
wash away.
Let's cross through there.
Going over in the flood.
Bridges over there.
Going over in Frogville. No, that ain't Frogville. Frogville goes down to the post office.
I guess you noticed the word Benham and Lynch are combining their services in the paper enterprise. I'm glad to see that.
I talked to them about that today.
But I hope they don't try to exclude us from that. 'cause we
They're
need,
still in the process.
Have you contacted them about it?
yeah, I've been, as a matter of fact, I was talking to them 2 weeks before they did that. I was
Exclude
trying
us
to-
from the, what, the 1.2 million?
No,
Oh,
combining the
no,
services.
Oh, combine, okay.
This is where the maintenance and stuff like
Oh,
that
yeah,
is gonna
that's a
work
good idea.
together.
That'll
But
cut
they're
costs.
still in the working process.
Right.
When I talked to them today about it.
So they don't have
Because I was
any,
asking
they're not
about
actually
it,
doing it
saying they
yet.
got coming
We
in.
need to stay in that,
So,
yeah.
I was
You
talking
never
to
worked with
the
Dodd.
No, they don't.
John and
You won't work with
they
Todd.
would make a good pair, but they got. Shut up,
Let's see. Oh, another thing. This little road that's fallen in up here, you know, the road that connects Spring Street to the Highway 160 up
The
there?
one that crushed the house?
Yes. That could be considered a rural secondary road, which means the state should fix that road
going up the hill.
going up the hill.
Yeah.
Because Spring Street goes right on down towards the river. That's just a little road, don't even have a name. And it's only there for the state to connect to Spring Street.
I
We,
thought they denied that they owned any of that.
well, this thing here says that they might have to reconsider.
Is that right?
But as long as they fix it, I don't care, but if we had to fix it, we got a water plant to fix first.
Yeah.
That's right, that's secondary. Well, like the roof.
I see
here.
what you said, didn't they tear the house down that was there?
Yeah, the insurance paid them and everything, yeah. But they kept the property. The woman that owned the house still got the property. And I thought that should go to the city.
Well, that don't make sense to
The
me.
city paid for the house?
Yeah,
Well, you need to check into that, because if we paid,
Mr. Boggs,
well, I guess we did buy the house and not the property. I don't know. How
When we
that
paid
works.
for that,
house
the
and not the
insurance paid for the
You
house.
can.
I don't know. You ever done that, Gwen?
Do
Can
They
you?
pay for the land now.
Yeah, it depends on what the claim says.
They
Yeah.
paid for the improvement that was on the land. The house was considered an improvement on the land.
Yeah.
The land doesn't go away,
So,
it's
Yeah, it depends on what it
land's
is.
still.
still there.
Well, hopefully they
Like the
will
house
fix it.
burned,
I mean,
and then when you have your,
the road, I mean.
fire insurance on your house, they don't insure the land, they just insure the structure.
But I did like the signs y'all put up where it's closed. Now they can't drive down through there where that cable was. Well, I hope they don't. They have a cable wrapped around the hood of the windshield or something.
They can't get on the other side. It's right on the bridge, the cable is. So
I was talking about the one over here that you put,
Yeah.
they put cables up there too to stop it.
How about running into it?
Give me two.
you would, through the city. I believe that's about all I was going to bring up. We have two electricals. You know, we have to have the certified electricians to do their house checking and things. And we posted it on the window there, but there's a Steve Hammock and a Hargis Epperson in the county here that comes out and inspects houses and things when they have to be done.
We didn't hire them, they live in the county, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, they have. I mean, they're the ones you contact if you want, but you have to pay them, whoever wants to, you know.
Yeah, but we don't have anybody working for the city with that.
You know,
Okay.
we did have, but the fellow, he some reason he lost his license.
What was his name?
Nick Axel.
Is that the one that's got the raise on there for $2?
It's off now.
So it's back to 9?
No, back to 10. Because he can't do the electrical housing check, but he's doing all the electrical things in there. As a matter of fact, he went over the control panels inside the water plant and saved the city quite a few. What was it, about $300 a month for electricity on the things that we weren't using? The things that have been there.
What's his job classification?
Water plant operator trainee. He finished the first phase in about 3 months, and he's just waiting to get the time in so he can take a class 2 testing.
So he was making 9, now it's at 10?
At 10, yeah.
Nicholas Axel.
Huh?
Right.
And did you see the cutoff list for February?
Did you actually have to cut them off, or did they
They're cut
come
off.
in and pay?
No, they're cut off and they're not paid back yet. Everybody on this list is off.
I'd still like to know how many meters we've got, how many they're reading, how many's
We
cut
used to have
off.
right at